Self-isolation. The snappily named, like so many of these things, health protection, coronavirus restrictions, self-isolation, England regulations 2020. For those of you who are going to ask me whether this applies in Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland, I'm afraid I don't know. If someone who does know could type the answer in the chat box, that would be really useful. But these regulations are for England only, and I don't know if there are equivalents in Scotland or the other constituent parts of Great Britain. So what are they? Well, they came into force on the 27th of September, 2020. And they make it an offence. It's Regulation 7. Regulation 7 makes it an offence for an employer to knowingly permit a worker, that includes an agency worker. It's an offence for an employer to knowingly permit a worker to attend any place other than the place the individual is self-isolating. So let's imagine, here we go, this is my fantastic art. Let's imagine we have, God, this is my sort of 3-year-old level of drawing. Let's have a nice little tree there outside the house as well. There we go. And a lawn. Right, let's imagine that we have somebody who is self-isolating at home. It is an offence for an employer to knowingly permit that worker to attend any place other than their home, assuming they're self-isolating at home. So they can't ask them to go to the office. They can't ask them to drive a lorry if they're a driver. They can't ask them to visit a client. It's an offence to ask them to go anywhere that's not their home. And by the way, this doesn't just include those who've tested positive for coronavirus, it includes people who are required to self-isolate because they live with someone who's tested positive. So if an employer knows someone's tested positive or lives with someone who's tested positive, it's now responsible for stopping that worker from working unless they can work from home. It's okay to work from home. And any employer who fails to do this will start a fine starting at £1,000 and doubling each time it happens. There's also, by the way, an obligation on the employee, on the worker rather, to tell their employer that they're self-isolating. That's under Regulation 8. And any employee or worker who doesn't tell their employer they're self-isolating will be committing a separate criminal offence. Likewise, any employee who breaches their own self-isolation will commit a separate criminal offence under Regulation 11. That's not very well known. It's quite important that employers could be subject to these massive criminal penalties if they get somebody to leave their home, if they're either self-isolating or someone they live with is self-isolating. It's not very well known, and it's really, really important.